of Nairobi this Friday. Mwenda, who was nominated by ousted Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko early last year, will appear before the County Assembly's vetting committee. However, this comes with petitions having been filed in court seeking to stop the vetting process. George Maringa is speaking to Nairobi residents on their thoughts on the process and the race to get Nairobi as substantive governor. George Maringa, good morning. So in just a few hours, that is tomorrow, the members of the County Assembly will be sitting down to vet the Deputy Governor, whom they hope will take over the seat for the Governor of Nairobi. But what are Nairobi residents saying? Do they want that process to continue, or do they want to go for a by-election to elect the county boss?
Thank you, Brendan. Good morning to you and our viewers. Indeed, the views are divergent regarding this issue, especially after, the capital, that is County number 47, started facing the leadership issues following the, the resignation of Paul Kapiga back then, and then now you have the Sonko impeachment, now the acting governor, who is Benson Mutura, and also the vetting of Kananu, which is coming up just about tomorrow. So these are issues that, of course, Nairobi residents have had to contend with over the past 2 or so years. And I'm joined with one gentleman here, resident of Nairobi, to just speak his mind on, what he thinks, or rather what he feels about this issue. Start with your name, and the vetting of Kananu is scheduled to happen tomorrow by the County Assembly of Nairobi. First of all, what's your opinion on that?
My name is Martin Nzioki. I reside in Nairobi. I've been first-hand seen all what is happening around here, and I would say that vetting of Kananu right now is an illegality as it stands. Kananu had been in court before the impeachment of the governor, which means nothing that had been approved about her being a DG. So she cannot take over from Sonko, who has already been impeached, because this, a deputy governor and a governor goes, that's a one ticket. So which means, if I thought she was not there by the time the governor was impeached, right now she cannot come up and be a deputy governor of Nairobi once the governor has already been impeached. Yes.
And, of course, the County Assembly has said that they were raising issues and queries saying that, in as much as the former governor Mike Sonko says he had withdrawn his the nomination, the County Assembly says that's something that was made after his impeachment. What do you make of that?
To start with, I think it's a valid argument that the County Assembly may have, but it is also valid to say that the governor withdrew this name before he was actually impeached. So, which means, what came earlier? It was the withdrawal of the Kananu's name. The name was withdrawn before the governor was impeached, and that should stand. Yes.
Finally, there are those who say that the appointing of authority, that is Mike Sonko, he was impeached, so and Kananu should not be vetted. Is that your position, or is that your view?
My view is Kananu should not be impeached, because right now we should start with Kananu was accused of several illegalities. That's why actually someone went to the court. So have we, and the court, has it addressed the claims that were raised against you are told the person, the petitioner who gone to the court, has withdrawn. Then still, this petition is not the one who brought these illegalities. It means that these illegalities are still there and they need to be addressed. So us bringing Kananu is an illegality. So we should actually, because the Constitution says that if at all there is no substantial governor, when we impeach a governor, there is no DG, the Speaker of the County Assembly goes or assumes power as the governor for 60 days. So that is the reason as why Mutura assumed the power. So which means that after 60 days, we should see a new governor. So new elections should be held in Nairobi. We should not just get someone who is planted to us and we are told this is the governor. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time. That's one resident of Nairobi. Probably I could speak to one more gentleman who is passing just about here. Brenda, Nairobi residents are up and about their business. Thank you so much for joining us on KTN News. First of all, we are discussing this whole issue of the vetting exercise of Kananu tomorrow by the County Assembly. First of all, what do you make of that? Is it legal? Is it constitutional in the first place? Start with your name.
It's not constitutional. Because at first, my name is Tundura Kagama, Kenya, I'm resident in Nairobi. You know, when we are talking about Kananu being vetted tomorrow, and from the word go, why was he rejected at first? Because one was a civil servant, isn't it? And there was an issue. Constitutionally, he was not supposed to just assume an office until he was to resign, which he never did. And there was an issue that that is before the court at the moment, as we know. And therefore, the two, we have to respect the court. Because then, if we continue violating the law, then what about the other common people? So what we expect is, first of all, let us finish with the issue of the courts. And then we'll be able to talk about whether it's free to be vetted or not. So that, as I'm concerned, they are breaking the law. Yeah, and that's the position. That's my position.
So is Nairobi ready to go for a by-election after the 60 days, or rather after the acting governor's term ends?
Constitutionally, you know, we are supposed to, as it is, the speakers to be in charge for 60 days. And unfortunately, I don't know whether we are ready for that. Unless we expect it by the courts, then it means that we will be having a crisis very soon. Yes, we are not ready to go for the direction.
Thank you so much, sir. Indeed, those are some a few Kenyans, residents of Nairobi. Thank you so much talking to us about this whole issue. Brenda, as you have had divergent views on this topic that concerns the residents of Nairobi regarding the vetting process, the vetting exercise that will take place tomorrow at the County Assembly of Nairobi. Brenda.
George Maringa, thank you so much for getting the sentiments of Nairobi as we wait and see whether the County Assembly will go ahead and vet Anne Kananu, or whether the courts will stop that process, because there are still court cases on that. Then, away from that, let's have a look at what is making the headlines on the international scene. To the U.S., where the U.S. House of Representatives on Wednesday